to the garden. I can't believe it is almost the end of June. It's so crazy. It's a little bit chilly today, but by now your gardens should be showing signs of life and growing nicely. As you can see, ours is doing quite well. Now I have some things that are past harvest. So our radishes are huge, and they have gone to flower and to seed. So I'm going to pull them out because they are done. And I have some funny, I ended up growing kale unknowingly, and the radishes did okay. That's not quite what we want. As you can see, they're pretty little. Now we had that hot spell and it affected the spinach right here. So the spinach was doing great, and then it got hot. I think that was the beginning of June, and it started to bolt like we talked about because it's a cool season crop. So you can still eat it. It just might be bitter because of it having gone to seed already. So I'm going to pull all of that out and I'm going to plant a new crop. So we're going to do some beans, which are great because they have really pretty flowers on them that the bees and pollinators like. And I'm going to do sunflowers and some nasturtiums. So I'm going to plant the nasturtiums and the sunflowers just to add some flower to our gardens, because we did talk about pollinators, and we know that we need the bees and the butterflies and moths and even the wind to come and visit our garden because they help us to grow the vegetables and fruit that we need. But I wanted to go into a little bit more detail so that you know exactly what it is that's happening when the bee or butterfly comes to the plant. So I have this little diagram. So this is just, looks like a lily, a plant. So you have your pollen grains, okay, and this is your stigma. And so your bee comes and it's getting nectar and pollen, and it has these little sacs on its leg. And while it's in that flower, it's collecting pollen on those sacs. And sometimes if you really pay attention to a bee flying around, you'll be able to see like a yellow, looks like a little ball almost on its leg, and that's a pollen sac. So it does its thing on this flower, and then it's going to fly away and it's going to visit another flower. And while it's again collecting pollen and trying to get nectar out of the stigma, it's going to leave some of the pollen from its sac that it collected on previous flowers, and it's going to attach to the stigma of this flower. So then that pollen then travels down the stigma into what's called the ovary of the flower, which is where the fruit will be produced. So this is a really good one you can see on strawberries and blueberries. Zucchini plants show it really well. So zucchini has the big yellow flower, and if it's a female flower, at the base of it there'll be like a little tiny little ball kind of, and if it has been pollinated properly, you'll see that ball start to swell and swell. So that's the ovary, and that is what will eventually become a zucchini. Or like I said, in the strawberry, you have the flower, and once it's pollinated, the tip of that flower, the petals kind of fall away, and the tip of that flower becomes the strawberry. So it's just something I'd like you to, if you have fruits and vegetables in your garden, I'd like you to pay attention just to see. So when it's a flower, look at what the flower looks like, and then try and see if you can tell where the fruit or vegetable is going to develop on that flower. It's a pretty neat process and something, yeah, just to watch. So another neat thing I learned about pollinating is that the bees' actual buzzing, that sound they make, helps them pollinate. So things like blueberries and tomatoes, the pollen in theirs, it's not just sitting out easily accessible. It actually needs to be, it's almost like hidden, and the bee will go onto that flower, and it said it bites down on it, and I guess the buzzing that they do, right, they kind of vibrate, it shakes the pollen loose, and then it attaches to them and they can fly and pollinate other flowers with it. So I thought that was kind of neat that bees buzzing, it actually has a purpose when it comes to their pollinating. So not all vegetables need pollinated. I had to move my camera because I wanted to show you. So like our carrots, which is this, there's no flowers attached to those. It's just the green, and then they're growing in the ground, right? So they don't need pollinated. They get everything they need from the rain and the soil and the sun in order to grow. So other vegetables are, so leafy greens, so our spinach and our lettuces, which are looking lovely right now, they also don't need pollinated. Potatoes, so any of your root vegetables that grow underground. So other things that don't need pollinated are it's called your brassica family. So cauliflower, broccoli, cabbages, they don't need pollinated. Peas and beans don't need pollinated, which I don't think I realized, but apparently they don't. But we still need those pollinators in our gardens for everything else. So because it can be kind of hard to catch these pollinators while they're doing their job, I have a couple videos that I thought were pretty neat. They're very detailed, and it's just a nice thing to sit and watch. So enjoy these pollinators at work. Isn't that neat? I thought those were such great videos that really captured what the pollinators do, especially the one of the butterfly where you can see its tongue, or it's also called a proboscis, actually go down into the flower. I don't think I've ever seen that. So I thought, because we live in a very hectic, busy world where we're always going, it can be hard to just sit and enjoy either the garden, or if you're at a park, just nature, maybe the trees. So I'd like you to, this month, especially because June is such a lovely time when things are blooming, it's not too hot, and it's a nice time to be outside, I'd like you to just sit somewhere outside, and I want you to do an observation meditation. So I want you to find a quiet spot, so you could sit close to your garden, or like I said, if you are at a park, maybe find a nice tree you enjoy and sit under that, somewhere out in nature. So first I want you to observe what's happening around you. So just use all of your senses. So what's it like out? Is it cold? Is it windy? Is it warm? Can you feel the sun on your face? What do you hear? You hear birds, the wind, maybe where you are you can hear water or the lake, traffic, people, anything. What do you hear? And sit with that for a little bit. And what do you feel? And what do you smell? And if you're with an adult, maybe there's something in your space that you can taste. So if you have maybe some herbs in your garden or wherever you are, maybe you can taste those. Or maybe you have a ripe strawberry that's bloomed. But again, make sure you're with an adult and that they say it's okay that you do that. So I just want you, just to sit with those senses and really enjoy being outside, and then look around you. And are there any bugs? Are there any bees on any flowers, or butterflies, or just ants maybe crawling over your toes? And instead of swatting them away, sit with it and enjoy what they're doing and try and appreciate them in how all the ways that they help us. So I just thought that would be a nice little calm moment that you can try this month, and maybe it's something you'll want to do on the usual. I know with my kids it can be hard, but I do try and get them to just sit quietly and pay attention to their surroundings. So two little tips, I guess. I don't know. Well, this isn't a tip, but I wanted to show you strawberries. We have one delicious strawberry growing. Yay! So you can see beside it, this guy, not quite ready. But if you look at the strawberry flower, I think I have a good one here. Whoa, where are we? There. So this guy hasn't been pollinated yet, I'd say. He's just not ready. So that center part right there is what will become the strawberry. You can tell they kind of look alike. So like I said, the petals will fall away and then that will grow, which is pretty cool. I don't know. Oh, there. This one you can see is just starting. So his petals are still hanging on, but they are dying. And then that center part is going to become, this one as well, the strawberries. So we'll have to pick that strawberry and see, do paper, scissors, rocks inside with my coworkers, see who gets it. I'll be fair. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you is our tomatoes. So a tomato plant, we have some flowers growing here, but there's something you want to do with a tomato plant so that all of the energy that it has goes into producing strong branches so that it can support that fruit once it grows, but then into producing your flowers and your fruit. Is that tomatoes want to grow the greenery. They want their leaves to grow as well, but it's called pinching off. So if you have, like, I'll show you right here, here's a good one. So you have your main stalk, and this is good, and then you have this branch, which is good, and he's nice and strong, and he'll grow tomatoes for us. But then we have this little guy, and he's called a sucker because he sucks out the energy. He steals energy from this tomato plant, and we don't want him. So all you have to do is with your pincher fingers is get in there and pinch it off, and we'll get rid of those. So anywhere there where it's like a I don't know, a V, I think I always call it an elbow, and I don't know why. So this one, you can leave some of them. Can you see this one? This guy's gotten pretty big and a little bit out of hand, so I'm gonna leave him. I'm gonna let him go. But here's another little one, and we're gonna get rid of him. And you just want those to go so that it's not, like I said, you want all your tomatoes' energy going into producing you delicious tomatoes. So that's something, as it grows, every, I don't know, once a week maybe, go out and pluck those suckers off. It's one of my kids' favorite things to do. It's very satisfying. So just a tip. Oh, and I'll show you our cucumbers as well. They were a bit sad right here. I put them out and they'd been in a greenhouse, and I think putting them in the sun, they got a bit sunburned, but I kept watering them, and they're doing okay. They're coming back. So you can see this guy's growing, and he does have a couple little flowers in there on him. So yes, so things are looking up. All right, so I think that's it for this month. Again, I hope everyone's getting outside, enjoying the weather. It's a little bit chilly lately, but it's still nice. It's a good days to be outside working in your garden. Hopefully things are growing for you. We haven't had that much rain, so it's been a bit tricky that way, but all you can do is try. Yeah, so there won't be a online meeting this month. I will be away camping, yay! But what I would like you to do is, during your time outside, if you can take a picture, whether it's you in your garden or just your garden, something you're growing, or maybe something neat you noticed during your observation, and you can email that to me at kilib@brucecounty.on.ca, and if I have your parents' or guardians' permission, I can post it on the Bruce County Public Library's Facebook page, and just share, let's share what we're doing and what we're growing, and our surroundings. Yeah. All right, guys, so I hope you have a great month, and summer is just around the corner. Summer break, school's almost done, and I think everyone deserves a good break. Teachers, parents, kids, we've all done a really good job, and it's time to enjoy summer. All right, guys, so I'll see you next month.